Beyond the hype, cloud is really changing business and IT. Gartner predicts that 20% of businesses will own no IT assets by 2012. That's 1 in 5 no IT assets. Most of these are, of course, now small companies, startup companies, businesses that are launching entire new markets and revenue models with no data center, with no real IT staff, with no colo. That's what's driving this growth. 20% no IT resources by the end of this year. $55 billion industry, according to IDC. 68% of businesses are looking at or already using cloud, and 75% report that they're currently evaluating some type of cloud infrastructure. So, how is cloud challenging business and IT? Well, this is the basic model we have today. Your business, your end users, your business groups need services, applications, data, information, etc. They're coming to your IT organization for those solutions. The cloud creates a new source for those solutions. And in effect, if your IT organization is not providing the type of service that a cloud service provider can provide, if they can't do rapid provisioning, if it takes 3 to 6 months to deploy infrastructure, if going to IT is like hitting a brick wall, if asking IT to do something takes several weeks or several months, what's happening is the end users are completely circumventing IT, and they're going directly to the cloud to get whatever application, resource, and service best meets their needs, whatever's fastest, best, and cheapest for that group. So this puts IT in a very compromising position because they're being circumvented. So what's happening? Well, IT service use is changing, and that's driving challenges in traditional IT, and it's forcing traditional IT to start to function, or at least explore ways to function like a cloud service provider themselves. They've got to implement dynamic provisioning capabilities. They have to figure out ways to do metering and monitoring. And at the end of the day, cloud is causing IT to evolve. So, also beyond the hype, cloud is creating a lot of opportunities, but creating a lot of challenges for both IT and business as well. Most of the cloud barriers that I've run into in my consulting experience fall into one of these categories. It's either uncertainty or disruption, lack of a business case or comprehension thereof, some legal or regulatory concerns, and on and on and on. Pretty much everything will fit into one of these boxes here. So the question is how do we resolve these issues to capitalize on cloud and get the most business value out? And that's really what cloud service brokering is all about. So the enterprise cloud is a multi-source hybrid mix, meaning the general approach that most businesses are taking in practical use is they're purchasing a mix of public and private clouds from multiple and different providers. And that's creating complexity and complicating IT service delivery. And this is in turn kind of forcing the CIO role to change from managing discrete specific technologies to now managing different relationships, multiple clouds. You've got traditional outsourcers, plus you've got your standard infrastructure. So the shift is focusing away from managing discrete technologies to managing service contracts and relationships. So complexities in the cloud. They're really serving as barriers to cloud consumption. And this is the way that most companies are trying to consume cloud right now. You have the cloud ecosystem, which is the collection of service providers that are offering infrastructure, platform, and software as a service. Businesses are trying to consume those, driven by end-user behavior, which we just talked about. But that's driving complexities in adoption, integration. How do we use all these different multiple clouds? How do we aggregate and customize? What about onboarding, sourcing, procurement, billing? And then on the infrastructure side, there's SLAs to consider: performance, availability, scalability, security, and considerations for things like lock-in. You don't want to deploy all of your infrastructure into one cloud and get locked into it without being able to move that infrastructure if the SLAs are not adequate or if there's a security compromise. So movement of applications is becoming a very, very prominent focus area of research in the cloud. and also billing and cost control, and very importantly, governance. So these complexities together are really serving as a barrier to business value in adopting cloud and leveraging it, creating all this complexity for the businesses and end users. So this is the challenge that cloud service brokering solves. You need a plan and approach to really address this. You've got to find a way to address these barriers. One of the interesting barriers is the idea of cost savings. When you hear about cloud computing, you often hear 40%, 60% cost savings are achievable. Well, let me tell you, if you run your applications 24/7 in a premium infrastructure as a service provider, you never scale those applications back during downtime. You're not getting the full cost benefit of cloud. And over a 3-year TCO, you're going to spend more in the cloud than you would spend in a private data center. Cloud is only a cost saver when you use it efficiently and effectively. Scaling up and down is needed. The traditional IT approach is being challenged. You have to deal with this new model for doing business and for consuming IT services. And there has to be consideration for governance and organizational impacts. The cloud requires more than just technology and platform migration. It really requires a single point of accountability and a common platform to manage different public, private, and hybrid clouds. So the cloud direction for 2012-2013 is enterprise hybrid cloud adoption. This is going to increase. Accelerated use of infrastructure, platform, and software as a service, and a move towards looking for more cloud skills. CIO Magazine recently released an article stating there's a growing cloud expertise skills gap. More and more companies are having more and more difficulties finding cloud expertise. So there needs to be a way to simplify and automate some of these processes, and that's where the cloud service broker model comes in. So what is a cloud service broker? Well, a cloud service broker is an integrator and aggregator of multiple and different cloud services. On the left, at the NIST's model down here, you see the cloud consumer. On the right, multiple providers, and in the middle, the cloud broker, aggregating, customizing, and integrating those services. Serving as a one-stop shop for procurement and sourcing, provisioning, managed services, and governance. So why a cloud broker? Well, Forrester's done a really great job with this diagram of showing where the fit is. You've got a pure software model in the upper left, pure infrastructure model in the bottom, and pure consulting model on the top. The cloud service broker brings those three together in the middle, integrating them. Removing cloud complexity and burden from your organization, providing services for sourcing, governance, etc. And ultimately, the business value of a cloud service broker should be to deliver choice among cloud providers, control of those choices, savings, and integration.